Welcome to episode 9 of our Folktales 1.0 playthrough, or Let's Play. Today, we're gonna build a nice little housing complex after you have liked and subscribed. And with that housework out of the way, we can get started. Firstly, last time out, we kept this bad water source off. But before we can go in here and instate the aquifer drills, we need to wait till all of this is dried out before we can start making all of this green. And you can see this is quite a lot of bad water to evaporate. It's gonna take some time. So for now, we're gonna make a little housing estate right over here. Because we have, you can see we got 8 vacancies, and that's with quite a lot of buildings even just paused. So let's get started over here. Let's get started with the lodges. Let's flip this one. Let's take a look a bit overhead. Think over here. Flip this over there. A double lodge over here and a double lodge over there. And let's get things growing. This is our highest priority to get done. I want that to be finished. Yes. Put the logs in here so it is close by. So we can keep this during a drought green. We will eventually put also here a little, what's it called? A sluice gate in here, so we can keep this land green. So, but let's get started over here with a path. I think it's gonna be something like this. It will make sense. It will make sense. I promise you. Giving them a little bit of storage room so they can go ahead and have some place where they can just easily eat some food. And in order to get up here, like that. 2 platforms over there, couple platforms over there, staircase there, and decorations. Well, no, they are in well-being. Contemplation spot over there, over there, over there, and we want our beavers to have, some quiet time when they're contemplating all of their decisions. So we're going to use a wooden fence right over here. They've already started. Have they finished this? No. We only have 1.2 days left. Nothing to do in range. Don't tell me you can't access all of that, because... Oh. Come on. We need to get those things cut, so let's just suffer up a little bit of our pine trees. Just so we can get anything done and stop our plank production. So we're not using any planks unnecessary where we could be building a dam. Over there. Where was I? Housing, yes. Beaver statue, just, something nice to walk in, like this and this, or do we rotate it? Some hedges just to be nice. And of course, our beavers, they like to go for a drink after they're done working. So let's put that in there. But how do they get up there? Well, simply with our favorite thing, the spiral staircase. Put a little part in that. Come on, get this done. Probably not gonna make it, are we? This is low priority. Come on, get all of that other stuff done. The beavers, they don't know priority. They really don't. You'd think they do, but they don't. And I wanted on this place, give them a nice bonus. The farmer's monument. Get this all connected. And then in the future, might as well just get it done now. I want to build some lidos for them so they can go and have a nice little swim. Right there. And I think one over. Or not. No, it needs to be over. Oh, I want it to be the part. Do I have to flip it? And we have a 21-day drought. Over here would fit and over there would fit. It doesn't really line up nicely, does it? I want it to line up nicely so we can maybe do some way so they can get in the water here anyway. And make a little bridge in the middle so they can go over here and sit, have a nice little lake riverside campfire. That would, I think, be rather cute. Let's detonate this up and put the Lido in here, and now the path lines up with all of these paths. Well, this can get done. Over here we need to wait till the water is lower. We're not going to waste any water by building a sluice gate with just wasting all of this water. That's just unnecessary. Now, in order to get these trees cut, I needed to take out one more sunflower. We got quite a lot of sunflower seeds, so I can just remove it. And over here, we're gonna give them a place so they can eat something nice like bread and grilled potatoes. It's a nice warm dinner kind of thing. I think this looks pretty good, and it will give us 6, 12 and another 6, 18 more beavers in total. Now we got 4 vacant. So let's start back up our bakeries. and get those hours back at 16. So they're not slaving away completely. And this will ensure they get to cut down these couple of oak trees. And we can demark these trees for cutting. This patch of oaks is clearly not good enough for us to get through all of our building capacity, so we could build like contamination barriers around this little lake, so we could grow trees over here or over there. But I think over here is probably the smartest decision because it is close to a zipline station. This land will pretty much be eternally green. So I think we're gonna do that. Let's place it. Can't quite fit over there. No, why did I open that menu? I didn't need to open that. Quite like there. Then we can grow up oak trees over here. Pretty much everywhere we can see fit, because this, well, apart from, of course, these ones, because that is prime land for the contamination barriers. They take 400 science, let's just invest in them. Because this still is our bad water diversion system. This piece of land doesn't need a contamination barrier, so we need 2 triples and a double to reroute our path. A little bit convoluted, but it is worth it when we are not killing off our trees. We could do a similar thing over here. But just let's do it. This part isn't being used that much anyway. So we can just go like this. This staircase we can do better. We can delete that part. I think that's enough. Over here, I think. Let's build a little rotating staircase. This can be a 3 high then. This on top can be a 3, but then a 1. Then we can delete that part. Do a normal staircase down and collect it. I do need. We can do this better. We can do this better. We can definitely do this better. Let's start over here. To a 3. that will connect us up pretty nicely. Let's have a little spiral staircase up. Let's make this our biggest priority. This row can be switched to sunflowers because they can't reach it anyway. Get back a last bit of sunflower in there. This will use water to keep this filled up, but I think we're good on water. We can still pump all of this, so I don't think this will be an issue for the 15 days remaining. Let's unpause 2 of our lumber mills. Food is still looking pretty good. Don't really have to change anything about that. And in order, this will remain a overflow. So when we are building our sluice gate, we must set it to lower than 0.6 height. So we are not just dumping everything out, but when we overflow, the sluice gate remains closed, but we can still use this river as a overflow with any extra water we get around here. I think that's a good plan. This can all be normalized again. But our forester is still the highest priority. This can be set to normal. Good, actually. And that is what we're gonna do. Put that storage over here where we can't really plant oak trees anyway. And over here we can. That means we can also use this land just for our lumberjacks and well-being. A 2-wood grindstone. No, we're gonna do it even slightly more different. Can plant 1 more oak here, and then we put our 2-wood grindstone because we put it over there. Yes. That. Our first little house is done building. Now over here we must of course connect it up. I don't really like the roofs. I would love to have like a little triangle roof that just all corners connect to one point instead of this, because this we can do it, and it would give them all the boost for the roof. But we're running a bit low on logs. Are we willing to use some of our maple trees? No, not our maple trees. Chestnut I think I can live with. We don't have enough chestnut storage actually. Grilled chestnuts. Let's change 1 over back to normal chestnuts. And in order to actually get some stuff done today, let's cut a couple more trees. just so we have enough planks. Yeah, let's pause one lumber mill. One plank maker is good enough for now. So we can plant up all of these oaks. And over here, I want to plant some dandelions. And some blueberries. And we can let those spread around here to make it look nicely. Can't get them in here to be grown. I could build in the future like a temporary forest just to get things over here planted, but that's now we can't plant. Oh, well, we can plant this little bit. Well, actually, if we have the zipline station over there, we don't actually need this part. And then we can grow even more oak trees. They can just arrive here on the zipline. And they also have access over here to get to this industry. So I don't really see why not. Do need to get a little bit more science. And now we have planted these, we can just clear the planting area and just let this spread naturally. I think it will look pretty cute. If I... oh, let's try something out. No, that didn't change a single thing. You, for the time being, can be paused, can be paused, can be paused. Do some stuff that's more usable. 9 days left in this drought. We have almost sucked out all of this water. So maybe we can actually build that sluice gate over here anyway, today. Our water 2.2k is well good enough. We don't have the materials, we just don't have the planks to make to change this out for like a big water tank. It's a little bit of a waiting game. And I'm just gonna make an executive decision to just cut down all of these trees. And it seems like these trees can't be planted. They are in range, that's a good thing. These trees are only at 7% so that they won't be usable by the time we got a drought. This water is almost sucked up completely dry. So we know we have to do in the future some more digging down so we can store a greater volume of water. 2 more houses over here are done and these need a lot of logs. So let's lower that priority. You are using logs, you don't have to. I think this is gonna look great once it actually is finished. But with all of those pine trees and even some oak trees starting to come in, gonna be golden. Absolutely golden. Let's lower the priority for these kind of things. And now this is dried up. So we can just delete that. Put a sluice gate in this way. A levee on top of that. And a dam on top of that thing. And that's of course is now our biggest priority to get it done before the wet season comes. These won't die off. These neither. Yeah. A little bit of a waiting game now. But they are building, and I think this is gonna look great when it is done. So, in the meantime, while we're waiting, don't forget, like and subscribe. Is there anything over here we can optimize? I don't think so. We can put a little bit more of our beavers in the farmhouses. We even got one completely paused. But so far, all of our food, we're just not running out of them. Chestnuts, they need to be waiting till all of these grilled chestnuts are actually being eaten. What we could do, of course, pause this grilled chestnut grill, so we are not producing any more grilled chestnuts while we're trying to empty one of the storages out. Planks over there. These are just waiting for a couple of planks. And this just needs the most amount of logs. So what I will do is I'm just gonna speed through it. Gonna be a time lapse. Don't worry, not cutting anything out. But it takes a lot of time and it's just a waste of time to just speak to you and not show anything getting done actually. So let's just wait around till everything is finished up. So I will see you at the other side of this time lapse. And they have finished a dam, and that's all set up. So I'm gonna set that up during the time lapse. We could close above downstream depth of 0.5. That is lower than our spillway of our dam, so that will be good. So I'll speak to you at the end of this time lapse. Yeah, now we're back out of the time lapse and we have a drought approaching. We've got this pretty much almost finished. We're only waiting on one more log for our Lido. You can see all of this has built. Was planning on to do just a little bit in just getting 2 benches in here now that our farmer's monument has been built. You can see we needed a lot of trees for that. We got trees growing in here. Do have a bear tide, but things... No, we're getting a drought. But as you can see, water hasn't been the kindest to us. So what we're gonna need is to build in those next just couple of days. this build ASAP. We got plenty of logs, we got plenty of oak, so if we stop cutting our pine trees, it will harvest our oak trees, which will give us plenty more trees. So we should be able to finish this up and store more water. So do we also have the time to build this large tank? I think we're gonna have to. In 1.5 days, so we need more metal. So we have to unpause both of these. We got plenty enough workers for now. Our gears is enough, so we don't have to get more gears. Planks, however, we might need a couple more. We need 80 planks and 30 metal blocks. We got haulers, we got 8 builders. Doing well. We have pretty much run out of grilled chestnut, so we can go back to making those. We got 1 day left. And that 1 day, they're gonna work 24 hours. These trees, they're not gonna make it. They're not be making it anytime soon. So maybe that just won't reach it. We only have these 2. Maybe I needed more lumberjacks. Storage, we can. $30 planks, 30 gears, yeah. This is our most important bit, but when the drought starts, where this episode will end, this does reach. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I made, I think, a really cute, nice little beaver housing estate. It isn't quite finished yet with these contemplation spots almost ready to be used, but we're doing well. We're doing well, and this is really good and really cute, I think. So I hope you've liked this episode. Let's find out how long this drought will be, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. And I will see you around at the next time. And the drought is gonna be the next episode. A 13-day drought. It could have been way worse. Truly could have been way worse. So, see you around the next time. Goodbye.